Hello everyone, I'm Larry Satchwell, and I recently turned this little bird feeder ornament. Mike Peace turned one on his channel. I'll leave a link in the description. I thought it was really neat, so I tried it. It's made out of scrap wood. You want to get a round cylinder about 2 inches. Then I like to use a scraper and scoop out the end. I'm going to make a divot about 3/8 to 1/2 inch deep. The next step is to drill a 1/4 inch hole, and I drilled it pretty deep all the way through because I'm going to make the top and the bottom. A little bit of sanding. The top and the bottom are pretty much the same, so it doesn't matter which one you make first. I'm going to round over the top here and part it off. And then I start all over again. In Mike's video, when he got to this part, he used a jam chuck. I found it easier just to use a 1/4 inch dowel, put a dab of CA glue on it, and that way I can mount multiples on the same blank. Another little dab of CA glue, and I can mount and finish the top. The top and bottom pieces are between 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch tall. I really didn't take time to measure it, just what looked good. And I sand it every step. But I find that using the dowel makes it a lot easier to make multiples. Go ahead and finish the outside and then drill out the dowel. Most of the time it pops right off. This one was a little bit stubborn. I got a little bit of CA glue around the edge, but it came off pretty easily. I did the exact same thing to create the other end, either the top or the bottom. Then you're going to need a finial on the top and a finial on the bottom. I made them really simple. This is some Osage orange. You want to pare it down and put a tendon on it so it fits in that 1/4 inch hole. I just use a wrench to make sure it's the right size. It doesn't matter if you do the top or the bottom first, but you're going to need a top to hold the string and a bottom. This is just a simple button bottom here. I really love the way Osage orange takes a finish. One of my favorite woods to turn, actually. Some Yorkshire grit. And just a little bit of a touch up here. I wanted to put a little bit of a cup inside it. For this next operation, you want to make sure you sweep the floor, because if you miss this catch, it's really hard to find it. Next, out of that same piece, I'll go ahead and make the finial for the top. Before I get too far along in finishing this finial, I like to drill an 1/8 inch hole to accept a string. And then I can go ahead and finish turning the top. Sometimes you need to make yourself a little more room. On another piece of scrap, I'm going to make the post for the inside. I like to make the post between 1.5 inches and 1 3/4 inches tall. You can make this post as simple as you want or as fancy as you wish. If you're making multiples with a piece of wood this long, you can make 2 or 3 posts or several finials for the top or the bottom. You're going to need a bird for this feeder. Mike Peace has a whole video on how to do it. His are a lot fancier than mine, but it's a great challenge. It's really important to catch this. It's about the size of a piece of popcorn. I got it. Time to put it all together. So this is the bottom hole, and I'm just carving away the tail here. You can leave it as wide as you want. I just want to make the bird look excited that they're here. Once you have all the components made, it's time to put it together. The one I'm putting together may not be the one you saw me turn because I've turned several of these. I look to assemble the bird first. I don't know what size hole this is. It looks like a, I don't know, number 60. This is 19 gauge wire that I got at Ace Hardware. And the smallest hole in this set I got from Harbor Freight is the one that fits. Unfortunately, my pin drill is too small for that, but it did fit in my Dremel. So it's a little shaky or sketchy trying to drill that with the Dremel, but it works. I'm using Starbond Flexible medium thick here, and mine is about empty. Put it just a dab there on my paper plate and a dab on the 19 gauge wire and right back in that hole. I know you can't see this. Actually hard for me to see. Now before I spray it, I'm going to put the body on. It just depends on where you want the bird facing. There's still plenty of glue right there. And now I'll give it a little spray with the accelerator. And there's my bird. This is the bottom. And if you're going to sign it, I like to sign the top. This just be the best time to sign it. And I'll put the date. So it really doesn't matter where you start. I'm going to put a little more glue here. The flexible glue doesn't get brittle like the other glue does. This is my top. This finial has the hole in it, so I know it's the top. Make sure everything's square. Set that aside for a minute. Now I like to put the bird on. The wire isn't absolutely necessary, but it will hold this whole bird together a lot easier. So it's just a matter of where you want to set the bird. I like that there. Pull it back out. Another dab of glue. I spent quite a bit of time sorting through the sunflower seeds I had collected over the summer, but none of them were small enough. So I found this quinoa and a wild rice mixture. I roasted a little bit so I knew it wouldn't germinate. Then I used Total Bolt penetrating epoxy and added some acetone to it to make it really thin. I added the seeds and gently put them in the feeders. And here it is, all finished. I like the way it came out. I like the contrasting woods. Thanks for watching. Merry Christmas.